Boom, boom, boom. All right, guys, we are about to rock and roll. About to rock and roll. Three. All right, great morning, everyone. Rashawn, good to see you. Patricia, good to see you. Jenny, good to see you guys. Tracy, Richard, I see you coming in. Kat, good to see you. Let's see. Dana, good to see you in the car. Drive safe if you're driving. I can't tell if you're a passenger or if you're driving here. Put your seatbelt on, Dana. I don't know if you've got your seatbelt on. Okay, all right, very cool. Myra, Cynthia, Namish, good to see you. Barbara Parker, down in Savannah, Georgia, good to see you. Sis Gilbert, good to see you. All right, Laura George, good to see you. Awesome message, George, that you sent me. I greatly appreciate you, and I appreciate you sharing some of the stuff that we talk about with other people, your dad, your fiance. That is like, I'm not really an emotional guy, but when I read your message, man, I almost got emotional. I had to catch myself there. Chris Bowden, good to see you. Jennifer Long, good to see you. All right. So today's Wednesday, and as usual, on Wednesday, we have a fantastic guest. We're actually airing on YouTube as well. I just got back from the gym. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. Well, maybe I got back from the gym maybe about 45 minutes. So I still got those endorphins running right now. I'll tell you, there's nothing better when you need to have some energy. When you feel like you don't have the energy, going to the gym will give you that energy. But the hardest thing is getting up. This morning, I just this is another day of it was like, I should just relax today. And my relaxation days are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? I'm a little bit greedy with the relaxation days. So I'm not just doing two, I got three, 2.5, right? Saturday, I'm done Friday, I'm done at 12 o'clock. But look, going actually made me feel so incredible. So we're going to jump into this. On Saturday, do you guys remember, was there anyone here? I know, Patricia, you were here, and a couple of other faces who joined us on Saturday, and we talked about accountability, like the power of accountability. So we're going to kind of continue that conversation to get again today. And I see Caroline's there. I'm going to bring Caroline in. I hope I didn't miss you, Caroline. I just jumped right into this thing.
No, I came in at the same time. I've just been hanging out here.
Gotcha. Awesome. So I'm going to add myself as a spotlight as well. We got new people that are coming in. So I was talking about going to the gym this morning and got to the gym, come back home, went in, dropped my daughter Summer off, jumped in the shower real quick. And I get over here to my computer and I forget that I had went in last night and I cleared all my cookies, all of my browsers, right? I just cleared all of my cache yesterday. So guess what happens? I go over to Zoom to log in. Zoom says, enter your password. Well, I don't remember what my password is, right? Because I use like LastPass for like everything and some other things. But so luckily I had gotten here a few minutes early. I typically will get here 5 minutes early for those events, those types of events. I always tell my daughter Summer, because her schedule is like the most busiest of anyone that I know at 15. She's gonna be 16 in July. So I'm always like, hey, Summer, you can't wait to the last minute because there's going to be incidentals that happen. Now I know that that's not the right word, but I use that word with my kids. I'm like, you gotta always account for the incidentals. And my dad used to tell me that. He's like, Ty, you always gotta account for the incidentals. What are the incidentals? If you're driving to work, there might be road construction that you don't know about. There might be an accident that you didn't know about. You might be low on gas. You might get a flat tire. Anything could happen. So he used to always say, if you give yourself 15 minutes to account for the incidentals, you will almost always be on time. So I've kind of lived with that for a while. And you guys got to pray for me because I am trying to teach it to my daughter Summer, and the other three kids are great with it, but she's gonna get it. Trust me, she'll have it by the time she's about 60 or 70. I'm positive. All right, positive. So
Yeah, she'll get there.
she'll get there. And if she doesn't get there, so what too, right?
So
At
what?
least I gave her the lesson.
She's good. She's amazing anyway.
Yeah, she's incredible. Caroline, how's your day going so far?
Great day. Yeah, power walking, doing a lot of pre-orders on Amazon, sorting out things with the team. And I have the person that's looking after all my ads at the moment. She tends to steer on the more skeptical side of the ads and everything. And it's really good. She sort of keeps me in line because I'm a bit of a visionary. And she said, "Oh my gosh, this series is going to be huge." So so I'm very happy about that, because coming from her, that means a lot, because she's worked with my ads for quite a while. So yeah, we're just still having, I've only just got my own ad account approved. And so we're able then to transfer the ads over or copy them over to my account. So then I can then, to have control. The team are great, but I prefer it. But at least we've got lots of different options now. One of the things that happened as a result of what happened back in February when I was hacked, for the people here that are new, is we put some really good systems in place. So if it happened again, which I'm not bothered about it happening again, I can take anything after that. But if it happened again, then we've got the systems in place for immediate action and continue as we go. Yeah. So that's so it's a great exercise in getting better. From adversity always comes growth, doesn't it? As we talk about that a lot here. Yeah, so I'm great. It's a great day. It's very sunny. And it's a beautiful weather over in the UK at the moment. So, and I booked the opera for Saturday to take my Anisha. Cool. So I'm very looking forward to that in the Royal Opera House in London, in Covent Garden. So the beauty of her currently being single is we're having lots of time together, which I've craved for so long. And so
I really like that you guys spend that time. I think I sent you a message talking about that.
Yeah. And so poor Malia in India are in the middle of exams, but we're going to go off on Friday, actually, because it's bank holiday here. It's a public holiday on Monday. So it's all a bit crazy in London on Saturday. I think there's football going on as well. So we're going to go on Friday. We're going to have lunch in the Royal Opera House. And then and so that's going to be awesome. And like a pre-thing for her birthday, which is in a couple of weeks. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that, because she never used to say things like that. Like, "Mom, can we spend the day
So this
together?"
is her. She's saying, "Hey, Mom, can we go to?"
Yeah. I know sometime, I know we're going to talk actually on Monday, we've got a topic already planned, but maybe for another Monday, I really want to talk about how we bounce back from things. And she is just an incredibly strong, amazing person who has been really, really hurt recently, totally out of the blue, from almost getting engaged to, "Hello, my ghostwriter just ghost," and I've learned so much from her. She's only 20, but her attitude about everything. Because actually, a lot of people would spend the time now criticizing the other person, slagging them off, we say here, this, and I'm not going to say it because we're live, but all these different words that I used. But instead, the grace and dignity of her was outstanding. Now, I know she's military trained, so she's trained to deal with things coming out of the blue, but I was really shocked at her bounce back ability, and the interesting thing is that when one door closes, many doors open, and she's just her career over the last few weeks, 3 weeks, and she's got a placement in Spain. she's been encouraged to be a pilot, and she's working with the most amazing team. She moved to a different camp, and she's just literally just flying now, literally. And so I'm just so proud of her. And I didn't realize that I brought up kids. I mean, I will take some credit to be that strong. So we talk a lot on this call about how, even though we can't necessarily see it in our children or our friends or our partners, we are role models, and it's surprising how it just rubs off. And
how much they watch.
Yeah, they must do. I mean, she'll probably watch what not to do as well as what to do, because that's the benefit of watching your parents. I'm not going to be like that. I'll take the best bits of mum. Yeah. And so she always jokes about that, and I think that's great, because she's got that strength from how she sees me behave, but her reaction to things is top grace and dignity, and that's an insanely big quality, because when she's building her micro office business, which she's started to now, she's going to be able to, when things come up, if they don't get a plan or whatever, she'll be able to go bang, 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 no problem, we've got that, because that's how she operates.
That same level of mindfulness, right? It's again, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So she's not that you're emotionless, right? But you are able
she's
to
not
just handle things, right? So
and she says, I'm struggling at the weekends, can we go to London? I'm like, okay, let's do that. We're very near it there anyway, but it's she acknowledges it, and then she gets on with. But the key thing is not to just keep reflecting on what happened, why. She's not interested in that. You can't. There's no logic behind that, and it was all for the, for the good for them both, I'm sure. But it's just amazing if someone does something to you. The natural human response is curse, hate, all the rest of it. Often, a lot of people master that and don't do that, but a lot of people do that, and you just literally may as well just punch yourself in the face every day if you do that. And so her class around that has been incredible. And she's used it as an opportunity to, okay, next relationship round, I'm up leveling. She keeps saying, where's the best people, where's the best place where all the really cool people are? Oh, the opera. I think she's coming from that angle, but hey,
much better place than the bar, right? So I mean, look,
better than the nightclub. Yeah,
uplifting, right? It's
absolutely.
So
it's a great day.
Yeah, that's
so I'm proud that my kids are learning bits from me, and learning all the good bits from me, and they don't seem to be displaying any bad bits at all. They're just all incredible. So it's amazing when we go through business how they're watching, even though it doesn't look like they are. I mean, sometimes I think, do they really know what I'm doing in here? They really, do they care? Of course they're interested in their own lives, but actually it's amazing how powerful it is and how it rubs off, coming on the odd MMM as they do, hearing the live event,
showing interest.
Is Lenny the boss always that happy? Yes, because you can always be that happy,
Yeah, he genuinely is that, unless I say something to him that, then he'll be like,
do you deliberately try and do that to see if you can get him to move?
No, I mean, I might say something to him that, it's a long story. Where he's just like, oh my God, guys, come on, why did you, say that to me? But it's interesting to see him paying attention. Like Tyler came in, we were talking, me, Mel, and Tyler yesterday, and he was like, hey, Dad, when's the next KCF Live? And I told him the dates, August 11th, 12th, 13th. He's like, oh my God, I want to speak on that one. I want to come in and I want to talk about outsourcing at that event. And yes, Christine, we do have a guest. We're actually going to bring her in right now. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow. Right? So
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we get my kids on stage like we talked about before as
well.
That
would be awesome.
That would be so good to see Tyler.
And let's do it this August if they're open to it. So we'll do it.
Yeah.
So all right. So we got a quote for today, right?
Yeah.
So speaking
We've
of
got an
kids,
amazing guest.
this
We've
is
got
the
a quote. Yeah. Do you want me to
Yes.
do it? You
I've
want to
got
do
it right here. So this is a quote that I sent out to my kids. I sent this to my daughter Maya and Tyler and everyone else. So this is from Maya Angelou, and she says the real difficulty is to overcome how you think about yourself. The real difficulty is to overcome how you think about yourself. And coincidentally, Maya Angelou used to live right up the street from us before she passed. I'm gonna post this. So right here in North Carolina, she lived in Wake
Wow.
Forest, actually, Wake Forest.
Did you
So
know her, Ty? Did you ever get to meet her?
I wish. Yeah,
She's such an amazing woman.
I never got a chance to meet her or see her or anything. Very,
Very
very wise.
wise.
And speaking of someone that had a lot of difficulty in her life, right? So look, if she did not give herself time to come into, you know, who she deserved to be, then we may not have known the person that we know. So many people, right? So many people. You look at just all of the people that eventually went on to serve others, right? Initially, they did not start out that way. So let's bring on our guest here today.
Talking of serving others, that's a great lead into our guest.
Yeah, speaking of serving others. So
she's incredible.
some of you may have been on our call on Saturday. We did a call on the power of accountability. And with that, we had Coach Nora, who many of you guys have seen at our live events. And Nora, I'm going to actually spotlight you there. We can bring you on. All right, so we talked about the power of accountability. Who here was on that call on Saturday? It took place at Saturday, I think, what, at 2 p.m. we did that thing? 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. It was supposed to be a 1 hour long call. And we ended up going for 2 hours. We're not going to go for 2 hours today. Trust me, we'll stop at the top of the hour. But it went that long because it was that impactful and it was that powerful. And I think we got a lot of greatness out of it. So I wanted to kind of come back and touch on that subject again with you, and then bring Caroline on. And I think this will be just amazing. And if anyone wants to come in and share their input as well, raise your digital hand, open up your mic. I feel like we haven't brought people on live in a very long time. So no, Nettie, there is not a replay, unfortunately. So we're actually going to get back to a point of not doing replays at all. So again,
I heard it was amazing and I missed it too. But everyone was saying it was great. I got lots of messages about it as well. People said, oh my goodness, it was such an amazing call. So I just was sad to miss it, but I'm hoping there'll be another opportunity for you guys to do it. Another.
Right.
Amazing.
So Nora, you're grown this morning. Let's talk about this thing, right? The power of personal accountability, like accountability. And when we say that, look, it doesn't always have to be just ourselves. Like it doesn't just have to be us holding ourselves accountable. I think the biggest mistake that we make is not looking at people that have been successful or are successful to a degree and just giving them the credit. Michael Jordan can't get the credit to herself, right? Serena Williams, she can't get the. I was watching Serena's show. I didn't even realize that she had a show. Me and my wife were in Vegas, and I got maybe about 10 minutes of it. Actually, we were on a plane, and it was so interesting to see how her coach, who we never see, because he's in the background, was pushing her. And he's like, hey, Serena, I don't think you're taking this serious. I'm like, you're talking to Serena Williams. Are you like, you're saying you don't think she's taking it serious? And she was like, I'm trying. You saw the emotions coming out of her. Here's this strong, powerful woman who's amazing at tennis. And you're seeing a side of her that you would never have seen before. And it just reminded me why every single person on the planet that's looking to level up needs a coach. They need accountability. They need someone that's no matter how strong you are. So that's kind of what we touched on.
Yeah. And I've had some amazing conversations post that call. And one, you keep learning when you're talking to people. And I believe in that. We have a cup of knowledge. And when it expands every time you talk to a new person. And that's something I learned when I was on one of the calls, when somebody said, you know who you are. Somebody said that there's this devil here telling me that you can do this yourself. But I know I need help. So if I was the person that I was before, I would have said, I can do it myself. And, I would be that person who was like looking at the negative side of things instead of like jumping into an opportunity. And so that was so powerful for me, because just the realization and just the journey she's had from being who she was to who she is now, and even realizing and being that self-aware, that takes a lot. That takes a lot to be that kind of self-aware, to know, okay, no, yes, I can do it myself, but I will do it faster if I need help. If I get help, sorry.
If I need help, right? You need help, and then you get the help, right? Because I think that's the first thing we kind of talked about that on Saturday. We talked about like having that awareness.
Yeah.
Look, I always like to use the example of alcoholics, and I hope no one thinks that I'm an alcoholic or ever have been, but it's the easiest example to use. Like is it Alcoholics Anonymous, right? I think AAA or something like that. Like one of the first steps that they have in this 12-step or 10-step program is you admitting that you need help. That's it, right? It's like, hey, I need help with my business. I need help with advertising. I need help with getting my books published. I need help with building out my funnels, whatever it may be. And now let me focus on the other things that I might be good on or great on, and then get someone to kind of help me with or coach me through these other things that I'm not as good at. But that first step starts with, hey, my name is Michelangelo and I'm an alcoholic. Yes. And now they can help you once you've made that decision to put yourself out there on Front Street and say, hey, this is what I need. So
yeah, 100%. And that's for me, when we were coming up with this, Ty, it was, an idea, right? That I feel that this is some things that needed, but the conversations I've had, and the feedback I've gotten, it's just like, oh my God, the need's even bigger than I thought, because everybody's struggling with one thing or another. Yeah. Right? It could be something very different than just the business, but it is not letting them be 100%. They're probably functioning at a 10% of their fullest potential. And imagine when they get to 70, 80, 90, or 100. And all they have to do is just kind of get out of their own way and get out of their own head and be able to take action. Because the thing is, and I shared this and I admit this, I'm not doing anything for you. You're doing it for yourself. I'm just helping you, clearing that differently for you. Yeah. I'm clearing that path for you. And you are the one who's going to take the action. Yeah. You're the one who's going to do everything. So not only are you just responsible for the results you get, you're the one who needs to celebrate and who will be celebrating, because that win will be yours. I mean, it will be a win for me too, because I helped another person, but that win belongs to that person because they overcame the biggest hurdle one can have in creating any kind of life, like a good life, be a business, or being 100% on yourself, being a good relationship, being a good career. It's all on them. So if they're able to achieve something, the time that we're working together, that win is on them. That they deserve the pat on the back for that.
And so oftentimes there's several roadblocks, right? Like sometimes we don't even know what roadblocks we have. So sometimes it requires someone helping us to remember or pulling those things out. Because when you have these multiple roadblocks, or even just one, it becomes such an energy drain, especially if you have other things that are going on. You've got family that you're caring for. You might have your job. You might be trying to build out your business. And then when it gets to that point of building out your business, because you've taken care of everything else and everyone else, now when it goes time for you to put time into your business, you're like, oh my God, I don't even have the energy for this right now. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then that cycle continues to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. That's why I always tell you guys, like every single day, you should be doing something in your business every single day, 5 minutes to 5 hours, because it only takes 12 hours. It takes a lack of 12 hours, 24 hours for you to get weak. Like you're missing out on, if you take one day and you don't do the thing that you say you really want to do, and you don't put time towards it, right? You get rusty and you fall off. One day. I used to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on vacation. We're going to go on this 4-day, 5-day, 7-day vacation. And the day before, I wouldn't do anything because I'm preparing. Day after, wouldn't do anything because you're resting. And now I've got, let's say it's a 5-day period vacation. Now I've got 7 days of not doing anything in my business. When I get back, I'm rusty. Doesn't matter how good you are. So that's why every single day, one of the best things I could have ever done is every day on my business, do something, because it prevents that rust from building up. It prevents that oxidization from building up, right? 5 minutes. And the same thing in our lives. Like, you have to talk to yourself. You have to have someone that's going to hold you accountable. You have to be accountable to yourself every single day, because that one lapse allows you to get rusty. And just doing that regularly gives you the advantage over everyone else that's not doing it. And guess who's not doing it? 99.9% of the people are not doing it regularly.
They're not doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one voice or another that's holding them back.
And that's why we give you guys, look, that's why you might be saying, hey, Ty, Caroline, like, we're supposed to be learning about Kindle publishing here. We're supposed to be learning about micro offers, right? Why do you guys always talk to us about the mindset, the inner game, right? Because there's 3 parts to this. The first part is the mindset. Then the second part being the skill set. And the third part being the tool set. Tool set is the micro office program, right? The Fast Pass program, the revamp program. Notice that that's the third thing. That's why if you go on any of our courses, what do we start with first? We start with the mindset. Because we can't get you to be successful in something if you don't if you don't believe, not even understand, if you don't believe that you can do it. Now, the understanding is the skill set, second. And then the tool set is the third. We give you, hey, here's how you do it. Jumping on the calls with Caroline, right? That's why we bring on Norv. That's why we do these things, because that mindset is that powerful piece. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Caroline, jump in.
Beautiful.
Jump
Beautiful.
in.
I need some time with you as well, Nor, because I was saying to the children yesterday, I said, Jawar and I bounce off each other, and we sort of tend to be accountability partners, helping each other a little bit, but we very rarely get together. Because we don't have anything structured, and we're both really, really busy. But just talking to him is, he'll just reflect something back. I mean, we were talking about, next level, and he was sort of saying, what will it take to get to the, the 50K a month level? And I said, well, he said, do you know what to do? And I said, I know what to do. I know what to do. And it was like, okay, what's if anything, what's getting in the way? But it's not, we're only sort of having the odd conversation. So I think I really need to come and talk to you, because yesterday I had taken some risks in the business, financial risks in the business. And the devil came. I hope I don't offend anyone saying this, actually, but I said to the children, it's that, let's call gremlin, this sort of gremlin, this sort of...
You're gonna offend somebody saying gremlin too, so you might as well say devil.
Okay.
Anything that you say, you're gonna offend. If you have enough people, you're gonna offend
I didn't
someone.
want to offend anyone.
So you might as well just say what you're gonna say.
Of course, it's just a word, but it's the best word for me for something like this. It's like, what the heck? You know what to do, and this devil was there, and I had to take a very big walk and get my head around it. And I started talking to the kids a bit about this particular thing. And then I thought, I'm talking to the wrong people, really. I don't want them to think that, I'm struggling with something in the business or whatever. And so it was that. And then sometimes I listen to things on YouTube and just get myself back again. But you've got to overcome yourself. And it's that, I call it your personality that you've developed for 54 years or 84 years or 40, however old you are. And I'll say, it's not my mind, it's not my body, it's just, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind, I'm not my personality. They're thinking like that, but that's just 3D reality. It's not the reality. So I'll have to take a check up. But it is interesting that no matter how well it's going, and what sometimes, and this is especially true if you haven't got a partner to bounce off ideas with, then, you know, often you sort of store it in your head. And I often have to take a checkup and go for a walk. But I think one thing that I haven't got is I haven't got like a formal mentor. Because I know that I can overcome the devil, and people have this, you know, and it might be when you're starting your business, just, you know, can I do this? I don't believe in myself, or I'm going to try and do it without a program because there's lots of content everywhere, and people have got different, that I can't afford to do a program, lots of different things that they feel are holding them back. And it's just being able to bounce that off somebody else, someone that's objective, you know, someone that's not in your family, and someone that's wise. They then can say, well, you know, that's understandable, you might feel like this because you're taking a risk or whatever. So when you're saying all of this, I'm thinking, wow, what timing, because I had this devil moment yesterday, you know, and you carry it with you, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
If you like, you know, if you don't want to call it the gremlin, if you don't want to call it the devil, I call it the Doubtzilla. So
The Downzilla.
the Doubtzilla.
Doubtzilla.
Now,
Or
Like
Downzilla.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like Godzilla.
Or Downzilla. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's
No,
whatever it is.
absolutely. And again, you know, there's always, I do believe there's always divine timing for things. And again, I got that feedback too. It was like, I needed this like right now.
yeah.
And there you are, right?
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
and it goes back to just the fact that admitting it to yourself that, yeah, there's a gap. I could do this better. I could do this faster. Just like you said, you know, going back to like you're Caroline, you're the superwoman of like Kindle. So like you saying I need help would be, you have to overcome your ego to get results. That's a huge thing. A lot of time, it's a huge thing, because a lot of time what holds us back, what offends us is our ego, right? Offends us when somebody says something, or the reason we would never even reach out and ask for help. It's our ego. So overcoming that and saying, yes, please, I need some level of help. It takes a lot.
Yeah, that ego is a big one. You know, I talked about that on Saturday as well. We were going back and forth with that. And I kind
That's
of
the devil.
how ego is basically edging God out, right?
Edging God out. I like that.
Edging God out. Now, whether you're someone that's super religious or not, you can kind of replace that G and throw something else in there, right? Edging the universe.
Goodness.
Right? Or edging goodness out, right? Yeah, 100%. It fits, right? You just make this. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, there's no one size fits all. You have to make it fit you. The principles are the same, right? But the terminology might be different. The approach might be different. The principles might be the same, right? So
it's so true. And ego being, ego not just being, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm really good at this. I don't need any help. Ego being worry, doubt, fear, the past, all of these things. And you can go, it sort of becomes, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Because you start thinking, all the sort of what if this happens or what if that happens, just because it might have happened in the past. And that's the ego, the memory. I like that. Edging God out, edging greatness out. That's my one. That's my one. Yeah.
Edging
that's
goodness
what I'll
out,
go with.
right?
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah.
So, the thing you said just now about, it's not just the ego, it's about all that you've experienced previously, right? It's like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but, it becomes an alter ego of ours, right?
Yeah.
It becomes a part of us, another person that we don't like, and so that the conscious choice would be, are we going to think from a person who's healed, who's grown, or are we going to think from a place of that alter ego who's hurt, who's been through so much and has so much doubt, has so much fear? Who are we choosing to be? The old one or the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look, our subconscious remembers everything.
Yes.
Bad. right? It remembers everything bad, which is why you're like, oh my God, I can't get up on stage and talk, even though you've done it 5,000 times before. Even maybe you've got the praise before, or I can't be on video, even though maybe you've done it before, right? It remembers everything. So it's up to you to remember all of the good stuff and continue to repeat to yourself the good stuff, or have a book, like a journal. That's why journaling is so important, right? I got my journal right here. I actually don't have my journal right here. I thought I saw it. Yeah. But journaling, so you can go back and you can reflect. This is something I do with my kids too. We did this a couple of months ago. We went back to 2004. And this was my older kids, Tyler, Summer, Tyler, Maya, and Devon, and looked at some of the things that they wrote in their journals. And it was very cute and fun because they were small at that age, right? But it also was very empowering. So I'm not like, what's the difference now? Now that you're 24, what's the difference between when you were 7? The only difference is you stop using your imagination to the same degree. You started to get a little bit more realistic, like we all do. And that becomes even harder when we're around a bunch of damn realists. Like, if you tell someone your goals, oh my God, my goal is to do 50,000 a month, and you got a bunch of realists around you, not only are you fighting yourself and the inner realists, but you're fighting all these other realists around you as well. Well, you've never done 50,000 a month. Show me how you got to do this.
And they're believable, aren't they? You know, you can even go down the spiral of believing people. It's like, whoa. No. You know, unless you've got the life that I want, I'm not going to listen. But I don't say that. I just keep that inside, you know.
Yeah.
But it's true. And you know, I've got it in my journal. I've got a two-page. I have it open as 2 pages, and on the left it will be what's the human me feeling.
Yep.
And then on the right, it's what do I really know to be true? The real me, you know. And it's like, you know, it's all good. All is well. You know, all of those calming things. And that's how I get myself back to, this is just 3D. This is the truth, you know. And it's having that. Really?
Right? Depending on, I mean, we can get into quantum physics and some really deep stuff. And it's like, look, is this really the truth here? Or is the truth, you know, another universe where I'm at? Like, not to scare anyone off. I'm not going to even talk about that. But that, like, we have to always question everything. And that's where, again, the journaling comes into place, because we have our subconscious, which is our subconscious that's going to consistently remind us of the negative stuff. But then we need to have the second subconscious, which is our physical, which is the journal, that we can put all of the good stuff in. Nobody can tell you that you can't just write good stuff in your journal. You don't have to put the bad stuff in there. And that could be your subconscious. That's only the positive stuff that you can go back in, and on a regular basis, you go back and look at it. Man, I helped the lady across the street today. I felt good about that. I made my favorite tea today, right? It doesn't always have to be, I made $1 million today. I had a conversation with my daughter today and gave her a jewel that I was able to pass down from my grandmother. It could be anything that's going to remind you. I go to the doctor yesterday. I go see my hematologist, right? And then I got my Stronger Than Sickle Cell shirt on today.
Nice. I like that. That's
so
nice.
I go to see my hematologist yesterday, and we've had a great relationship. I've known her for maybe about 18 years now. And she says, how do you do it? Because I have full blood workup. I go see her every 4 months. How do you do it? Right. And I'm like, how do I not do it? We're having a conversation, right? How do I not do it? What do you mean, how do I do it? How do I not do it? I do it, and here's my after visit summary right here, right? So I keep these things, my after visit summary, so that I can compare all my blood results, my hematocrit, my hemoglobin, all of this stuff, my white blood cell count, red blood cell count, from visit to visit to visit to visit. Monitoring everything. If you don't monitor stuff, including what's up here, nothing's going to happen. Or you're going to go back, right? So everything has to be monitored to a degree, anything that you want to change. So she's asking me, how do you do it? I'm like, look, I do it because I cannot not do it. Like, you guys are just my guides. And I'm telling her this, you know, we have this, like, you're my hematologist, but you're just my guide. Like, if it's to be, it's up to me. I come in and I check in with you every 4 months to get the results. And honestly, if I could do this stuff on my own, I probably wouldn't even need you. I'm telling her, right? So, but I depend on you to stay on top of all of the new things as relates to sickle cell. I'm staying on top of all of the new findings as relates to sickle cell. And hopefully together, it's like parenting, right? You got a kid that goes to school. You're working with the teacher and the parent, and together, hopefully you can guide your kid. That's what a coach does. That's what someone who is like a knower does, or an accountability partner does. You are working with yourself and with that person to get you to peak level. So when I was saying I didn't need my hematologist, that was in jest, right? She knows that. Her name is Dr. Lola Elijah Day. So if you're watching this, you know I'm joking. We both need each other, because she sees me as one of her top sickle cell anemia patients. Now she can take my enthusiasm and what I'm doing for my health, and guess what she can do? She can share with all of the other people. Hey, I got a guy that comes in and his health is like, he does this, and that. His mindset is this, and this, and that. You might want to talk to him. You might want to reach out. You might want to try it. Right. So by you getting better, now you also help other people get better, and you give your coach that option to talk about you. Noah just came in and talked about someone that she was dealing with, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
And Roshan's just said that he was watching a lecture Doctor did yesterday, and she said something that blew my mind. Genetics loads the gun, but it's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. Wow. That's just great. It's about choices, isn't it? And the things that you were talking about, I was just thinking about, that's how you approach everything, business, everything, with the same, if it's to be, it's up to me attitude, rather than just business, but other parts of your life, you just leave that up to, you know, external forces or whatever, like the majority, like many people do, because they don't know, believe anything different. I don't know if you agree with that, Nor.
I agree 100%. It's we are, trying to conduct our business while we are hurting, we are struggling, we have no mental space. We have like 6 million things that are unorganized. We have not prioritized, and we are getting into business, while business needs all of this, right? Needs you to be at full mental capacity. It needs, decisiveness. It needs quick action, and you are already struggling with self-doubt. You're procrastinating. You have impaired decision making. So what are we bringing into the business? And that is the reason most of the people struggle, because we're coming in so wounded. We don't even realize that, business, yes, money solves a lot of problems, but it's not going to solve, it's not even going to get made. The money's not going to get made till you overcome all that's holding you back, because you're going to self-sabotage every single time.
Yeah.
That's just insane what you've just said, in terms of how powerful that is, isn't it? Because, which is why, and it's a hard pill to swallow. You can have two people doing exactly the same thing, with different results. So the action's the same, but it's what's behind each of the actions and what's going on inside, which is different, and therefore that affects everything. Their expectations of how the business is going to go, their expectations, their assumptions of how the business is going to go, their vibrations, frequency, whatever you believe on that. I mean, I'm big on that.
I'm big on that.
It does. It is. You've got two people doing the same thing with completely different results, which is why all of that has to be daily work, in terms of overcoming some of that. And not to say that anyone's going to necessarily be in their 40s or 50s and go into business and they've got everything going, I'm completely, resistance free, or else they would probably not even need the business. They just have great health, great relationships, very rich, in the lottery every day, whatever. Wouldn't be very fulfilling, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But abs, did you say abs?
Abs, yeah.
No
Abs,
issues with being allergic to any, not liking any foods. I'm joking. joking, Ty. So lots of different, you know, and that's not realistic. But it is interesting because I was having a conversation with the kids about often when you get these people that are like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, if they've had a strong grounding in their family life, they'll come in and they're like, how did you get to millionaire by the time you didn't come from a rich family, so you got to sort of millionaire by the time you're 21, 22, that sort of thing. It's often because they're not coming with all of that going on, because they haven't had long enough in life to experience some of that stuff.
Yes.
If they've had a good childhood. So often when people are coming in post career, post businesses that might have failed, everything's good. You can still get, obviously everyone can get there, but you're coming in with some of that. I mean, I came in with I spoke to Marty about this, and he said he built his business from pain. You know, it is still really successful. But I came in with hurt, doubt, all of these things, but I was aware of them. And that awareness is key, isn't it? So you can say, okay, it's just that the devil, or it's just, I'm going to overcome it, and I'm going to do these different things, get a coach, do these different things to overcome it. Very interesting.
It's more about, are you coming in with baggage, or are you using that as motivation? So pain can be two things. It can be either baggage or it can be the motivation. So Marty's pain was not something that was stopping him. It was something that was pushing him, right? There are two kind of people who go, and these are personality types, people who go away from and who go to, right?
Perfect.
Move towards. So some people's motivation is to move away from. So if there's pain, they're going to do everything in their power to move away from that pain. So that's how they're motivated. And this is human design. And the other thing would be, some people are just motivated by, they're moving towards kind of people. So they're motivated. Like, I know I'm more towards kind of a person. If you show me a goal, I'm like, I'm getting it. I am getting this done. So I'm a towards kind of more of it's always a mix. It's always a mix. It's never 100% the same person, like, on the spectrum, but most people, have to kind of realize what personality type am I, and what is going to motivate me. Because what happens is that somebody who is very much away from person, we are showing them, oh, that's your goal, that's your goal, that's your goal. And they're not that person. They're not going to get motivated by that. Right? Somebody who's more towards kind of a person, we keep reminding them what's going to go wrong if you don't do this. So
yes,
that makes sense.
It's so you're adapting that approach based on the sort of person that you are. Yes, because if you look at people in the business that have done really well with Kindle, let's just use that as an example. You've got me. I was motivated by, I don't want this anymore. This is crap. I'm going to get now everything that I want to have a great life, and freedom, all those sorts of things. And I want that. Now that pain drove me. It wasn't so painful, but that pain drove me to motivate me. But then you get someone coming in like Michael Lopez, who's very chill. I said to him the other day, how can I be more like you? Chill. And he was very much, probably not making an assumption, no idea, probably not a lot of hurt or pain going on, but very much practical, that he had his figures. Okay, to make 30K a month, I need 1,000 a day. To make 21K, I need 700 a day. And he maps it out, and he didn't need it. He got a good job and other things going on, but he had it, and he was coming at it from there. I mean, I'm sure that he had hurdles and obstacles, but very different approach. So it is about, and this is why coaching is so powerful, isn't it? You're coaching to someone's strength, and people are going to be motivated by different things. And some people, I've got a best friend like this, being an entrepreneur, where you're always sitting on the edge of your pants or the edge of your seat. Oh, you are always, aren't you? I realized that, oh God, that's just the way it is. I gotta get used to that.
It doesn't matter. Look, Jeff Bezos is sitting on the edge of his pants right now.
Yeah. And it's like, whoa, but some people just cannot be happy with that sort of life. And my best friend is 1, you know, she wants stability, security, safe, no change, but she's good. And she knows what, and that's okay. You know,
That's okay.
so everyone, and so the when you're surrounded by people like that, when you're building your business, that's when you've got to think, okay, that's okay. I'm just different.
Yeah.
I'm just different. I was born different. And that motivates them. And there's something to be said for security, stability, and all of those sorts of things. I get that. But I'm going to push through this. My human me doesn't want to change, doesn't like change thing. And I'm going to just know this is life and this is what's going to happen. And I think that's really powerful, because I think often when people come into, say you come into this community, I want to be like X person. I want to have a journey that takes 9 months like theirs did, or 2 years like theirs did, or whatever. And then they go into, you know, comparing, analyzing where they are, rather than saying, this is what I am. And these are the things that I really need to, I know I'm coming in with hurt, doubt. I know sometimes my decision-making could be better. All those words that you used before. I'm coming in wounded. I'm going to use that to push me forward. That's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's one of the first exercises I would do with any client, is understanding the motivators, right? What kind of model are they operating from? Because that's going to help me get them the results, right? Because if, again, the same thing, if there's somebody who's motivated by pain and I'm trying to motivate them by goals, it's not going to be as effective as it's going to be if we're talking about what are we trying to avoid, and getting away from the pain. So it's really important that we understand that, even from a coaching perspective. We have to understand that before you start engaging with that person, because you're there to help them get out of their own way. So it has to be effective, instead of, okay, you're maybe talking to the wrong, just the wrong model of that person. That there's a metaphor they use in this case, like talking on the wall or something like that. Totally flew out of my mind just when I was saying this. But and
you're right. Everybody's motivation is going to be different, right? So like for Michael Lopez, going back, it could have been just his potential. Like for me, working at Walgreens, it was a sweet job. Loved everyone I worked with, loved the clients, except for the one lady, right? My supervisor, Jay Press. But even that was tough, right? Was not as tough. I could have stayed there forever. But my pain was simply just knowing that there was more potential that I had in me, right? And do I apply and continue to make Walgreens rich? Or can I go in and apply this potential to myself and bet on myself and hopefully make myself rich? Right. So and as Nora said, you have to find out, like, what is your pain? Right? Are you doing this because you just have this story in you that you need to get out, even if no one reads it? You just have to publish this book. Or do you have this story in you that you need to get out because you want to help other people? Maybe you've been through something traumatizing in your life, and you want to share that story and your coping mechanisms with other people. How did you deal with it? Right? Do you just have family members that are struggling, and that maybe may not be able to help themselves, but if you apply yourself, you can help them? That was another one for me. I had to look at some of my family members and I'm like, look, they can help themselves. They just don't know if they can help themselves. I know I can help myself and get to a point where I can also help them. So that was my motivator at that time as well. So it's talking to someone, talking to yourself, finding out what, and this goes back to another thing that we talked about on Saturday, Nora, and that is really understanding who you are. So many of us, we get up and we try to do things, we're modeling other people, and then we wonder why it doesn't work. And that's because it has total detachment from who we really are. We've really forgotten who we are. So you have to do those exercises, right?
And what we really want in relation to that. So many people, and I've done this in the past, where you're striving for something. And then you think, hold on a minute, what do I really want? I actually don't want to do that. And what makes me really, really happy. My previous business was like this, and it's like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do those activities, but I'm sort of thinking that I should. Or often when people have some success and they look and think, okay, the next obvious step is you've got to do this now because that's what everyone else is doing. So okay, I better do that. And then you look at it and you think. I always say, if it's to do with business, I'll just say, if I won the lottery today, or the lotto, I think you guys say, don't you? If I won the lottery today, then what would I be doing? What would I be doing? And I seriously would be doing what I'm doing.
I was just going to ask you, what
probably
would you
just a
do?
bit more chilled out, doesn't make any difference.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. And I keep saying that to my husband. Yeah. And I keep saying to him, it's like, you know what, when are you going to become a millionaire? And I was like, then what's going to change? I was like, so what are you going to do then? They said, what are you going to do then? I was like, I'm still going to do the same stuff that I'm doing. I was like, then what's the problem right now? And I keep saying, I don't want to work anymore or anything like that. I was like, but you're not working. You're just doing, you're serving your purpose. So what's going to change? Yeah. And that just kind of makes me stop and then realize that, oh yeah, nothing's going to change. Yeah. It's like, except
when
for
you
the bank balance.
Something when you find something you're passionate about, but then I was thinking that, and I was thinking, actually, what I would do, I'd ramp it up. I just bring in loads of people, do 100 pen names at once, and just see how much, I can make, just like for the hell of it. And then, do this and do that. And that's when you have to, whatever it is you're doing, and whatever the business is, and you do a number of things, Noor, and this is clearly your passion. You do it because you want to empower, help people have that personal evolution. And so you do that from passion, love, as well as it being your business from a financial point of view. And that's key, isn't it? Because so many people, if they look at what they're doing, they look at something and they think it's not working, and then they think, do I really love doing this? What do I really love? And you've got to, there's going to be elements of boring stuff, isn't there, every day in the work that you're doing. Oh God, do I have to do a load of pre-orders? I have to delegate them. That's what I like doing it. And then you look at activities that you might not enjoy as part of the role. Like, I don't enjoy my accounting side of things. I'm trying to make that more exciting. But then, but generally, it's that question of what would I really want? If money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if whatever restrictions, what would I really want to do? Oh my gosh, I'd really want to do this. And that's the powerful thing. You've got to love what you do and have fun with it. If you're happy, have
sitting by the pool all day gets boring as hell, right? Going to islands gets boring. I don't care how much you love it. Doing it week after week after week gets boring, right? Probably being on a yacht, right? A $500 million yacht all day long for weeks at a time probably gets boring, right? So anything that you don't truly love will probably get boring. Hey, ladies, we're coming to the end of this thing. Look, guys, if you want to continue the conversation with Noor, if you missed out on Saturday's call, you can actually go in and schedule a call with her. She's going to show you how to become more accountable. Noor, can you post that link? I still have not been able to figure out how do I get my copy and paste functionality back on this computer that I have down here. So
I've just posted in chat.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. You can go book a call with Noor. She'll help you to get a little bit more accountable. I want to ask you two ladies a question before we leave. What have you learned by working with me?
You're asking us both.
All right, we're gonna
really digging deep there. I'm joking.
Right.
Did you ask yours? Do you know the reason I switched off then? Because I was just grabbing Noor's link to pop it into copy and paste it, and then I missed the question. So did you ask us both? What have you learned since?
Yes. What have you learned by working with me over the last couple of years? I'm just curious. So this is something that's going to help me. And if you haven't learned anything, then you say, Ty, you haven't learned anything, because then I need to go back.
You learn from us.
Right. And that 100% I'm learning from you as well. That's why I'm here right now with
I have learned so many things, Ty. Anything's possible.
Mhm.
I mean, the motto that you use, like if it's to be, it's up to me, that kind of rings in my head all the time, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, I don't know where you got it from, if it's yours, but it's just become a thing of the voice in my head.
Gotcha.
I have learned that you do not have to be sleazy or salesy or
Yeah.
a money grabber.
Yeah.
You can be a successful business person by serving, and you're a huge testament to it. I mean, the biggest, I see a lot of people, are so many influencers and people, business people, marketers, who are saying things like your family, and it's like, this is one place where this is literally, when you say brothers, sisters, keepers, this is literally the one place I have seen that happen. And I'm not kidding. It's not because I'm part of this community. I mean,
You choose
been
to be
around the
because of
block.
that.
What's
You
that?
choose to be because of that, don't you?
Exactly.
You don't have to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
don't have to be, but
And I don't.
choose to
And
be.
you
Yeah,
choose to be. Yeah.
because you actually are, what you say you are, you actually practice it, whatever you're preaching. So that is what I've learned. So there's other stuff as well, but that's the biggest, these are the biggest things.
So many things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that right there, so that part of, look, like I said earlier, we follow so many people and we start to do and become what other people expect us to become, that we lose identity of who we are. And at some point you have to, it was like what I was telling Caroline earlier when she was going to use the word the devil. I'm like, look, you're gonna, no matter what it is that you do, you're going to offend someone. So you might as well be your
I'm always
authentic.
offending people.
Yeah, and be able to live with it. Like you might as well be your authentic self. I don't say every word perfectly, right? I was just struggling with like 4 words here on this call today, right? So what? Jesus offended people. Gandhi offended people. Martin Luther King offended people. Malcolm X, one of my favorite individuals, offended people, right? But if you're not your authentic self, then the person that you're truly going to offend is yourself.
Yes.
Right? So that's it. Caroline, what?
Yeah.
I'm doing an exercise for myself, so I need.
Yeah. Well, there's several things, and many things. I'm going to just pick out the 2 key things for me, and one of them is your calm demeanor, whatever's going on. And the fact that you will not allow anything or anyone to ruffle you openly. You probably might go away and and when I
stay up all night, think about it.
We've had different things that have happened over the last couple of years that we've worked together, and it will be, you occasionally will make mistakes, or do different things will happen. And then when I was going through the stuff in February, your reaction was, oh crap, okay, so how about thinking about this and this and this and this? So always solution orientated, not problem orientated. No reflection or talking about the problem, but straight, okay, think about these solutions. And that's a really big thing for me. And that's reflected in the way that we manage the community, the Facebook group. It's the whole culture comes from the way that you are. And I've never seen it like this. I'm in the world out there, the world online. I've never seen anything like it. And it'd be very difficult to not have that in my life. Even if in the future I get busy and go off and do other things, who knows what's going to happen. But it's so hard. I mean, even the last live event, I was so busy. I thought I won't offer to do anything on stage. I'm so busy, And then I thought, crap, I can't help myself. I want to be part of that because it's very special, That's the first thing. The second thing is the genuine nice person that people see on the calls and everything is the reality. I have never, as much as I've tried, never succeeded in getting angry or annoyed or anything like that. But I think it's that kindness where you're coming at everything from the place of love and stability and goodness in the community. And just an example, I won't go into detail about it, but an example was somebody on an MMM, I think it was, or brought this person into the Fast Pass, and they said that they had a friend who was struggling with the effects of sickle cell anemia. And I just mentioned this to Ty. He's like, right, okay, give him my number, give this person my number, tell them to call me. So this person wasn't in our community. Tell them to call me so that I can just go through some practical things they can do to improve their life, and share what I do and what I know. That, you know, you were really busy. That, in fact, you're away as well as being busy that week. That is very unique. Someone that genuinely, nothing in it for you.
Yeah.
You don't even think like that. And that's the two things that I've learned. Whenever things happen, I'm like, what would Ty do? What would Ty do? What would Ty do? What would he say? You know, yesterday when the devil came, I thought, what would Ty do? What did he do when he was at this stage of his business? I know what he'd have done. So I'm going to do that.
This, like, to start this new thing. What would Ty say? What would
Ty say? Yeah.
It's just like if Brian could do it, right? So
and that, you know, and we'll all do that. I mean, people say to me when they say, oh, what would Caroline do? What would Noor do? Because that's what our jobs are here, to hopefully different people will resonate with different people. A lot of women, that single mums, will resonate with me. Caroline can do it, you know. I can do it. And that's what we're here for. But I use you as, you know, with your things that you've had to deal with in your life, and you still do. That's a precursor for me to become a better person, you know, and be even better at what I'm doing.
And look, so the reason why I asked you ladies this question, right, is because asking someone their opinion of you could be one of the hardest things that you could ever do. And you sit there and listen to it. So as an exercise, today's Wednesday, and we'll come back and we'll talk about this on Monday, because Monday we're going to talk about self-love. So find 2 or 3 people between now, and don't use the holiday in the US as a excuse. That's even more of a reason to do it if you're getting together with family. But just ask them, hey, what are some good things that you like about me? And then notice how you feel as they're talking about you. If you have never done this before, it will be the most uncomfortable feeling ever to hear people say good things about you.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason to it. If anything, you should embrace that right now, not with this cockiness and conceitedness, right? But you should embrace it because it lets you know that you've come this far from age 0 to wherever you are now, and that you can now apply all of that and just multiply it even more so, right? Using that journal, that positive subconscious journal, right? Writing all of these cool things that people say about you in your journal. So now when you feel down, you can go back and listen. You can look at this. Oh my God, Caroline said this, Noor said this, right? Aaron said this. So you can go back. So do that exercise. Ask someone, maybe it's your children, your mom, your dad, your neighbor, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, cousins, auntie. Ask someone who's older too, because they'll really ask someone who's younger and someone who's older. They'll really tell you.
Just say to the older people, no, we're talking about the good stuff.
Right, right. And the young kids too. You got to say, hey, good stuff.
I used to force a family meeting when the kids were little, and we had a appreciation circle. We used to do it a couple of times a week. Tell each other what you love about each other, and they'd often be like, and then they got used to giving praise and receiving praise and all those sorts of things. So now I'll say, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. I know I am, Mum, of course. Okay. You know, and that's the key. Evelyn just put something so powerful in there, because the only thing, it's great when other people motivate us and we can, like I say, you know, I say, oh, what would Ty do in this? You know, and I tend to do that for lots of things, but equally, even more powerful than that, because I'm different to Ty. We're wired differently. We're going to be different lives, different backgrounds.
We look alike, but other than that,
we look alike. That's the only thing.
Totally
we often say the same things, but we're very different. Evelyn's put something so powerful, and lots of people have acknowledged it. I always use the thought, if I knew what to do, what would I do? Oh, I love that.
Wow,
that's so powerful. She's very wise. Anyway, Evelyn's super wise and successful, but I love that. If I I always use the thought, if I knew what to do, what would I do? Yeah, that's such a good topic for Monday when we're talking about self-love, because I've got another question that I use like that.
So there you go. All right, guys. Betty says that she's excited to have a call with Nora tomorrow. So go in, book your call with Nora, talk to her.
Amazing.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it might be. I've got a meeting with my son, so I got to get ready to go. I got to go get something to eat. I have not eaten this morning.
I would love to connect with you guys. It's for 20 minutes, but if you book it, please show up. Definitely, because I'm putting the time away for you guys. So just
this is accountability. It's an accountability call. So like you cannot not show up for an accountability call. Like what type of a douchebag does that? Like not show up for an accountability
it's not a good start,
call,
is it?
right? I mean, jeez. There's humor in that right there alone, right? All right, I'm gonna sign up for this accountability call. I'm not holding myself accountable for it.
Yeah.
No, also, do you want to put your socials down there? How is it best for people to follow you that are maybe they're not getting around to booking a call yet? What's the best
I
way
mean, if you want to
contacting
find me, on Instagram, I just started a new
There's
one.
no times available, Brian Keller just said.
Oh, there you go.
Damn. That's it.
Yeah,
Money loves speed, guys. Money loves speed. So
if you find me on Instagram, you can find me in the Unleashed Powerhouse.
Unleashed Powerhouse. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you can I don't have time to drop the link in, but
no worries.
Yeah.
Perfect. We could always drop the links in the group.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that later?
Sure.
Yeah.
Brian, I'll open up some time. If you give me like maybe 30 minutes, I have a call that I need to hop onto, and right after I'll open up more times for you guys.
And Jane is asking, yeah, that's fine. So she says, if we already have a coach from like one of the live events, does that not apply? No, this is totally different. You're just going in and speaking to Nora, and she's hopefully helping you to get better and more clear as to who you are, what you want to achieve, and how you can achieve them. You know what this is really good for? This is really good for someone who may be trying to start a business. This is good for someone who might have one of our programs like micro offers or the Kindle Cash Flow program to revamp or the Fast Pass, and they have not done anything with it yet. Or they just logged in and looked at it. Or they're not as far ahead as they think they should be. Or they're not getting the results that they should be getting, because there's probably at a minimum one roadblock that's holding you back from where you need to be. It could be, look, I'm a procrastinator and I don't want to admit that I'm a procrastinator, or it could be I'm a procrastinator, I know it. Here's some tools to get you past that. So there you go. All right,
just wanted to get out of your own way.
Yeah, you want to get out of your own way. So that is it.
Yeah.
That is it. Right. And sometimes it's a simple tool that helps you do better. Right. So, all right, guys, we'll see you. Have a good one. We'll see you on Monday. Have a good Memorial Day for everyone that's here in the US. I don't think there's anyone else that celebrates Memorial Day. Right.
Nope.
So if you're an expat or somewhere, you're an American citizen living somewhere else, go in and enjoy Memorial Day, and we'll see you on Monday. We'll talk about self-love. Right.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
Here. Thank you
so much for coming. Will you come again, please?
Would love to.
Great.
If she would have said no, that would have been the funniest. No, I definitely cannot come again.
I don't. Yeah, no. I would definitely love to. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Amazing. Thank you so much. See you all next week.
We'll see you.
Thank you, Noah, so much.